Welcome to SWTV, Sylvia with the Voice, your ultimate source for the most abnormal news and wildest reactions on the internet. I'm Sylvia, and we need to talk about what is happening in these streets. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button because it's about to get weird. Let's go. Hey y'all, the TikTok streets are talking again, and this time people are claiming there's new evidence in the Nolan Wells case. Y'all already know TikTok detectives don't play. They're going through videos, pictures, timestamps, GPS information, and timelines frame by frame. But before anybody starts saying that the case has been solved, hold up. Investigators have not announced that this viral material proves what happened to Nolan. So today we're going to look at exactly what TikTok says it found, compare it with the information we can actually verify, and ask one question. New evidence or a new theory? Let's get into it, y'all.
A captain who was out there on Horns Island said that he is most certain that Nolan was part of the 5 people that were about to fight on the land. And he said that the time that he saw them out there was 5 p.m. This is the problem, is that the timing keeps changing, which is exactly why, again, the investigation needs to be thoroughly done. I'm gonna show y'all, because y'all love to be like, where are you getting this information from? And you're just lying. I'm gonna show you again, because I don't just pull stuff out and post it. I literally see these things, read them, and share them as I find them. Again, he said that he hit 3 of his passengers, can confirm that it was Nolan, and the 4 other subjects were about to fight on the island.
Okay, I see why people are talking about this, but before we call this evidence, where did the original material come from? Has the timestamp been authenticated? Do we have the original file? Or are we looking at a screen recording of somebody else's post? This is where TikTok gets dangerous and fascinating at the same time. Somebody can notice a legitimate detail, but then 5 videos later a question becomes a theory, and that theory suddenly gets repeated like if it's a fact. A picture can absolutely help establish timeline, but only if investigators can authenticate when it's actually taken. Posting time, screenshot time, and the time the original image was captured aren't necessarily the same thing.
In order to go forward in an investigation, you have to go back to the beginning. And once I did, I realized we have missed something huge, y'all. And yes, I have already tried making a video about this, so let's try it again. All right, so according to one of the original MDMR reports, Captain William Freeman called the Master Sergeant and told them to locate and interview a female subject. And that's how we get to this girl, Lainey. Now, this has always bothered me because I'm like, why is Lainey's name in this report? Why was she brought up at all? Especially since, according to Lainey, she hadn't seen Nolan in over a year and was on a completely different island. So it never made sense to me. And then it effing hit me. So according to this report, on July 5th at 9 a.m., assistance was requested from Captain Freeman as part of the drone search. Freeman was transported to Horn Island, and at approximately 10 a.m. he tried 3 failed launches. It ended up being a software error, and he was unable to fix it in the field. So then at 10:30, Freeman requests that Smith come out and assist with drone duty. Freeman and another officer went and picked up Smith and transported him to Horn Island. But by 12:40, the first drone finally takes flight. Now, wait a minute. If Freeman was out on Horn Island trying to do this drone launch, had to call in assistance, go and get that person, bring them back to Horn Island, then when the F did he get this information about Lainey? Oh, wait, I have an idea.
Was looking for Nolan, who was on boat. This was boat. Okay, explain that. Who was out of this group? Who was on with boat? Who was on a boat or not? Going out looking for Nolan.
So, me, Wyatt, and Trayson got in the boat. We got in the Palm Beach that morning, the morning after, and to the islands, and we were met by DMR. There was 7 DMR boats already out there, DMR and park rangers. We talked to them. We gave them all of our information. They personally asked if any of us were on the boat with him that day. We told them yes. They just said, all right, well, we got the area scoped out. And then after that, we just went up to the beach. I think we met up with y'all. Yeah.
Okay, so by Morgan's own words, he, Trayson, and Wyatt were on the Palm Beach out at Horn Island talking to MDMR. Oh, and when was that? When did they do that?
From 9:45 to 11:50, 12 o'clock era, about lunchtime. While we were on the water, we talked to a rescue guy.
Oh, you were out there until 11:50, you say? You mean 5 minutes before this phone call happened? Does that sound like a coincidence to you? Now, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to conclude that they were the ones who gave this information to Captain Bill Freeman. Again, why would they give Lainey's name if she wasn't there in that group that day? Especially when he was supposedly last seen with Katie, whose name again is conveniently absent from any report that we've seen. But this is about to get deep, y'all, because I reread the line again, now knowing that the boys were the ones who probably gave this information and not just some random good citizen. Specific wording says, Captain Freeman said to locate and interview a female subject that was possibly involved with the missing person on Horn Island. Possibly involved? How did I miss that? How did we all miss that? Because there's 2 other boys mentioned in this that they don't make contact with, and it just says possible names associated with Wells. That is very different and intentional language. Now, as I've told y'all, I've spent weeks learning the dynamics of all these different friend groups and who they're friends with online, etc. Now, this is Lainey. Now, most people have clocked this picture where Lainey is with a girl who is wearing the same swimsuit last 4th of July as the one that is on the boat with Katie. I'm going to try and do this in the easiest way possible. I have narrowed down the BFF group with Lainey and these girls. All of these girls have called each other their best friends and taken pictures with each other at some point or another. Now, none of these girls are friends with any of the Wyatt Warren friend group. But all of them are friends with Trayston and Trayston's sister. Trayston's sister has best friend picture relationships with all of these girls. It's very clear that this is a core group of friends. There's group pictures with them, they've lived together, etc. Now, Kendall is the one in the blue and red bikini in this picture. But I found another picture of Bailey and Maggie here from last 4th of July wearing the exact same red and blue swimsuit that Kendall was wearing. So it's pretty safe to say that these girls coordinated all wearing the same bathing suit. Also found this picture of Lainey from 2 4th of Julys ago wearing this bathing suit. Does it look familiar to anybody? That's right. That is clearly the same bathing suit from the boat with Katie, with a face that's conveniently been blurred. Now, do we think it's a coincidence that 2 swimsuits associated with this friend group all ended up on the same boat as Katie? I'm going to say the chances are slim. Now, Kendall seems to have a longtime boyfriend. And guess what his name is? Jacob Brooks, which is the second name that comes up on this report. And guess who seems to be Lainey's longtime boyfriend? Drew Johnson, the other name on this report. Now, Drew, unlike all of these people over here, Drew is friends with the Warren Wyatt friend group. Also the only one out of this entire group that is Facebook friends with Nolan. If this was the boys telling this information to the captain, why were they saying that their buddy's girlfriend was possibly involved with Nolan? And why would Trayston be snitching on his sister's friends like this? Now wait, one of Katie's BFFs, Nevaeh, is friends with a Caden McGrath. Caden is friends with 0 people from either group except for Nevaeh, as far as I can tell. Caden is somehow related to a Joe, who is frequently advertising on his page for the Biloxi Bay RV Resort. The one that I was saying that according to the GPS coordinates looks like they may have dropped somebody off at. So in my opinion, Joe is clearly somehow related to the Marty McGrath, who was the one who apparently took all these people on this boat, including Katie, when this friend group was supposedly left on this island. And I feel like that language is really important and overlooked because left makes it sound like your ride left without you. Now, according to Joe's LinkedIn, he is IT for the Ocean Marine Group, which is owned by Jerry Adkerson. Aiden is also the only person I can find who is friends with Captain Chris Seth Ward, the son of Chris Ward, who was called by Jerry to cancel the sea tow allegedly on his private line before the sea tow call was even finished. I also found a very weak connection through social media between Lainey and a girl who is in the same sorority as the girl who threw the party, Ava, allegedly threw the party. So what if Trayston's slick comment wasn't about Katie at all? Because I don't know about you guys, but we have seen absolutely zero proof that Katie was actually out there with them. They have kept the story hyper focused on Katie, and no other girls' names have really gotten out. But if Katie has been the red herring this whole time, I don't know. I'm still trying to piece through. I'm still trying to figure it out because there's clearly a chunk that is missing out of this story. Like, I think Lainey is a red herring too. Don't get me wrong, because I don't see these boys like freely offering up their motive or anything. But it sounds like maybe this Lainey girl was involved with Nolan behind her boyfriend's back at some point, and they tried to use that.
So Megan has definitely given the TikTok streets something else to investigate. But the most important thing now is authentication. Friend groups, photographs, and relationships can help us understand the social network surrounding that day, but they cannot tell us by themselves what happened to Nolan. If Lainey's name genuinely appears in the investigative records, then the question I want answered is simple: why? Until we know that, I'm keeping this one firmly in the interesting but needs verification category. Now let's check the next story.
I see the video of the two girls detailing the condition of Nolan Wells' body when it was transferred. I do want to give a trigger warning because it's definitely hard to hear.
All right, so we want to talk about Nolan Wells today.
So today, we actually know someone that works transporting bodies, human remains, and things like that. So today I got a call from that person, and they were just talking about the body that they
Came across was Nolan Wells.
So before knowing all that, he said that the body was mistreated.
Yeah.
It looked abused. It looked like he was tortured. Looked as if he was burnt, maybe.
Where?
Face, body, said he was burnt.
And not only that, his body was mistreated and when they transported him.
So as they were transporting him, he was actually face down. So everyone knows when you're transporting a body, when, only a couple of people work that job, they all know you don't transport the body face down. It's kind of very disrespectful. So you always have them face up. Well, specifically his body whatever reason was face down. And me personally, I took that as disrespect.
Yeah.
Heart goes out to the family.
Yes, definitely.
Because all we know is what they put out
On the internet.
But today, we
What's
actually
real?
found out a lot about his autopsy without even reading the autopsy.
Yeah.
That shit is so sad.
After hearing their description, did it give you any more clarity, or did it actually leave you with more questions? For me, it doesn't answer how he passed away. It adds another witness account that needs to be compared with the actual evidence. Until the relevant forensic findings are made public, I'm putting a big question mark beside this one. Not a conclusion. Nolan deserves answers based on evidence, not whichever theory gets the most views. Please remember to comment, like, subscribe. We'll continue the conversation in the comments below. Please remember to be mindful and respectful, and I'll see you in the next video.